Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a video that's a little bit different than my usual content on here, which recently has been heavily focused on TTC, taking pregnancy tests with you, showing you or telling you updates about our doctor's visits and all of that. I do have an update when it comes to the doctor's appointments and stuff, so I will share that with you in a whole nother video. But for this one, I wanted to focus on something that I really want to share with you guys. I was able to share it last night in our church evening service. So I wanted to go ahead and make a video as well because I want to share it with you. I think it's a very special dream that God put into my heart, and it has a really meaningful and touching message. And I did not want to just share it with the congregation at church. I wanted to actually put it on YouTube and maybe it'll reach even more people. So I am not good with remembering very specific details and being able to just spill them all out to you in consecutive order. So I did write down my dream. So I think I'm just going to pretty much read it. I wanted to do this outside, but it's super windy and breezy out there. So I just came here to the front patio. I'm going to read out the dream that I had and just kind of what I think it means and what we can take from it. And hopefully it'll help you guys, it'll touch you as well, or anybody in the future that may watch this video. It can mean something to you as well, like it did to me, because I am very impacted by this dream and it just felt so realistic. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up on my phone and read it to you. Alright, so bear with me. I am going to be reading quite a bit off my phone, and I really wish I could just tell you the dream from the top of my head, but I feel like writing it down, reading it out to you makes me not forget any like very specific details in the dream. So that's why I wrote it down, because I wanted to pinpoint like everything that was in my heart and in my mind when I wrote this down, and just kind of rephrasing the dream from my memory. I might miss out some things. So here is what I wrote. This Saturday evening, so this happened this recent Saturday, today is Monday, I had a dream that me, family, and friends were walking down a community. So it kind of felt like a suburbs community. There was just a lot of houses. Kind of reminded me of Florida, to be honest, like the typical houses you would find there. But we were walking down the road and I'm not sure what we were doing. I was actually getting kind of like Halloween night trick-or-treating vibes, because there was like other families out and about, and so it kind of felt like that. But I do not celebrate Halloween. We've never went trick-or-treating at all before, but this is a dream, so of course it's not real life. So that's just kind of like the vibes that was going on in the beginning of my dream. So I put down that it felt like it was trick-or-treating, but that couldn't be it because we don't celebrate Halloween. But while we were walking, we came across a little boy. He was maybe 6 to 7 years old, and he was with his little sister, which was super tiny, maybe 2 years old is what I saw in my dream. So this little boy was spraying his little sister with the hose, like a water hose, and it was set on jet. So you can only imagine he was spraying her in the face, in the eyes, in the nose, in the ears. He was just doing that, and we weren't sure why. So you can only imagine how that would feel. He kept going and going, and everybody kept murmuring and kind of just like whispering of how bad a little boy he was. And everybody felt so bad for the little girl. But no one would do anything at all. Everyone just kept walking by. Yes, they were talking about him and whispering behind his back, but they just kept walking on by. Nobody was doing anything to stop him. But I could not let him keep doing what he was doing. So I left the group that I was with, and I walked boldly up to that little evil boy, is what I wrote down, and told him to stop. I told him to leave his little sister alone, and that was not okay. I scolded him, all kinds of things. I was very mad. So then we continued to walk, and then later on, an adult woman approached me. She was very calm, very quiet. She approached me and asked me if I knew why the little boy was like that. I said no, and she pretty much began to tell me all about his life, his battles, and how he had no direction, no role models. It felt like she just kept going on and on and on, that his hurting and bullying was his way of coping. So after she kept going on and on, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like the realization hit me that he was not evil. He was just crying for help. He needed attention. He needed something. He was pretty much acting out of desperation. The woman that was telling me all this about the little boy, she was so happy. It was almost like as she was jumping for joy and relieved that I finally understood, that I was the only one that understood when nobody else would. So at that very moment, that is when I woke up. So I woke up and I wanted so badly, like in real life as I was awake, I wanted so badly to go up and approach that boy again and hug him and pray for him and apologize for all the yelling and the mean things that I had said to him. But that's when I woke up. And as frustrated as it is, I woke up, and it's like one of those dreams, really good dreams that you're having, and you wake up and you try to fall back to sleep to continue it or to see what happens at the end. But I could not fall back to sleep and I could not finish that dream. But what stuck with me though is when I woke up that night. What stuck with me when I woke up from that dream. The night before at church, we actually had a Friday evening service, and we had went, and I stood up at the altar that night and I prayed for boldness. That same boldness that I took to confront the little boy in my dream, when nobody else would, I saw myself using it in my dream, and it even shocked me, it surprised me that I was so bold to confront the little boy when nobody else was doing anything at all. That's definitely not like me. I am more quiet and reserved, and I definitely don't make the first move in defending anybody. But I definitely am praying to change and to be a little bit more bold, or to be a whole lot more bold, and be able to share things like this with you as well and not be scared or shy about it. So then I wrote down how I was surprised at myself for using that boldness, and that maybe this was a message from God. So this is not my dream anymore. This is just what I feel like once I woke up from my dream. That it was a message from God to continue praying for those who hurt others, or those who have hurt us in the past or continue to hurt us. We all need and deserve Jesus just as much. And we need to remain open-minded to understanding others and putting ourselves in their shoes before we harshly judge them. We don't know what the other person is going through or has gone through in the past to make them the way they are now. But as we all know, God is always willing to forgive anyone and everyone. You can't do anything too bad that God won't forgive. If I could have just had the time in my dream to go back and embrace that little boy, he would have known the feeling of being loved, forgiven, and cared for. It could have been life-changing for him. It would have repented, or he might have repented of hurting his little sister. It could have not been only life-changing for him, but also life-changing for his future generations. That poor little boy, he was so lost and confused. He was expressing his pain and anger the only way that he knew he was taught how to. This is how God views us all. We are his precious little children, and nothing we can do can change that, or change his mind about us. He loves us unconditionally and understands us deeply, even if no one else does. We may be lost or see somebody else who is lost, but sometimes all it takes is one person to tell them what they're doing wrong. But not only tell them and scold them about it, but do it in a Christ-like way. Show them the way to change, show compassion and example of the true love of Jesus towards all mankind. Show them that asking for forgiveness and repentance is still a thing. You take what you want from this, but In all honesty, I rarely remember my dreams so vividly. Yes, I've shared dreams with you guys in the past, and I also sometimes keep like a dream journal that sometimes I put on my Instagram stories. But I'm definitely going to start recording more of my dreams and what I think they mean in my personal opinion. But I don't often remember my dreams in such detail, and I feel like this one, it just felt so realistic that I wanted to share it with you. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. This Sunday at church, also in the morning service, one of the members of the church had us watch this video, which pretty much talked about all the negative voices that the enemy puts in our minds and what the enemy calls us. And for me, the word that stuck out when I was watching this video is unqualified. I have always kind of felt unqualified to share messages that I receive from God, because honestly, I don't study the Bible that much. I don't have any history in studying like theology and just my personal walk with God. I have not read the Bible as much as I should. So sometimes I second guess myself when I am quoting a Bible verse on our farm page, and I just double and triple check that I didn't miss anything. And so I always felt unqualified to share messages with you, but I'm trying to step out of my little comfort bubble and put myself more out there and share these messages that are 100% from God, and it's just the enemy telling me that maybe it's not from God and all of that. So that is why I wanted to share this. And pretty much me praying for boldness that night, this is me showing that boldness, or at least trying to. I was able to share this in person with our church on Sunday night. As much as I was nervous and shaking the whole time I was reading it, I did it, and God is giving me more opportunities to be able to open up more and share things with people publicly. As much as I don't want to, as much as I hate it, I prayed for boldness, so I am trying to practice that. And I also prayed for God to use me. So sometimes God using you puts you in very uncomfortable positions and takes you completely out of your comfort zone, but you have to be obedient. Once you pray for that, you cannot go back. And I am trying to be 100% obedient in what I am receiving. So I pretty much ended the message with that I hope this message is as eye-opening to you as it was to me. May the yearning to go out and save that little girl, but also the little boy, be as strong in your heart as it is in mine, because I think that is very important, that we don't just save the little girl who is getting hurt and abused by her older brother. We also have to figure out ways to save the little boy as well, so that he doesn't continue that trauma and continue that abuse into future generations. And I believe, especially now, there is a lot of people in this generation that are breaking those curses from their ancestors and from their past. So I think that is a beautiful thing. I have done it in my own family as well. I have broke and continue to break generational curses. You're able to do that as well. So just keep that dream in your mind, and however you take it, whatever you can learn from it. It's something that God put in my heart, and I just could not share it with everybody. So I think this platform is perfect for sharing things like that, because it will eventually reach the masses. And I'm just so happy and grateful that I was able to stand up at church last night also and share this dream with everybody there, because I think it's also important to share it with people face to face and get out of that comfort zone and do that, because it's honestly easier to record a video and show it to thousands of people than it is to stand up at a church and share it with 20, 30 people, however many people are there for that day. So that is it. That is my dream that I wanted to share with you. Stay tuned to my channel. I'll definitely be sharing more things like this as God puts it upon my heart. But I will also continue updating you on everything else going on that you guys enjoy watching as well. So I will see you in the next video, and have a blessed week.